The voice from the bottom of the well. Here I am, sitting calmly at the bottom of a dark pit. A pit I was flung into by those of my own blood. The very reason I now sit here, deep in thought, drowning in material pain and suffering, and yet free from their abuse, their toxic bitterness, their hate. So I am lucky. I am blessed to be here, away from the noise, away from the lost souls, whose faces I no longer wish to mirror, souls I no longer wish to reflect back to. Their deep-rooted self-hate and loathing, ugliness, I no longer resonate with. Lifelong friends, ones I spent a lifetime protecting, loving, forgiving. Friends I once called my rock, for whom I would have died or lived, to whom I once felt eternally indebted. Now they are like grains of sand scattered in the wind. Externally, I lost everything, but now I see none of it had real value. But I did not lose myself. Though once I was lost, confused, aimlessly searching, grabbing at anything that might give my life meaning, desperately trying to define myself in all the wrong places, trying to find my reflection in the eyes of others. But all I saw was hate, jealousy, greed, bitterness, fake smiles and sentiments, fake love and concern, fake friendships, fake relationships. And now, as I sit here, looking at the long climb out of this pit, I ask myself, how could I ever have found my reflection in others if I didn't even know who I was? Was I seeing myself? Or was I seeing the labels others placed upon me? The shadows of my upbringing. I have spent years trying to climb out of this pit. This pit I was flung into since the day I was born. Just when I see the light and believe myself outside the darkness. When I think I have overcome my fears, my limitations, that I am ready to dance in the gardens above, someone else flings me back in. And yet, I rise again, almost back on top. But this time, before I rise, I make a vow. No one will ever fling me back again. Nothing will ever pull me down. Because I will have overcome everything. The darkness, the shadows, the pain, the suffering, the attachments, the entanglements. I will have unwoven my karmic past. And next time I come down to this well, it will be my own choice, and I will find only peace, calm, stillness. I will hear only the voice of the divine, whispering to me as it is whispering now. Even though I sit in darkness, isolated, detached from all sensual pleasures, with a storm swirling around me, destroying everything I have, everything I don't have, and everything I once believed I would have. I feel peace, I feel joy, I feel love. A blue fire burns within me, a divine desire to experience, to love, to create, to share, to become. I see now all the pain and suffering I endured, all the material wealth, social status, and people I lost. Those I once believed were the center of my entire universe. They were such a small price to pay. For the treasure I found buried deep within me, for the freedom I now feel, for the true meaning of peace. And now, I finally understand why bliss is not a word to use lightly. It's not a mood, not an emotion. It is a state of being, a state only reached when you realize nothing in this universe holds value except deep silence, the hum of the cosmos that echoes back your truth. A moment, and then it's gone. Blood of my blood, you genuinely believed I did not know what was rooted in your heart. Hate, the loathing, black is the hole in the center of the universe. You pointed fingers at others, venomously warning me of the haters, telling me to rid myself of them. But you did not realize that if I had done that, I would have had to rid myself of you first, because you were my biggest hater. You could not fathom why I would keep company with people who harbored such hate and loathing. You thought it was because I was kind, sweet, too forgiving. But no, I felt compassion, because their projected hate and self-loathing could not touch me. It bounced off. I miscalculated, yes. I believed that if I gave them enough love, enough kindness, enough generosity, they might begin to love themselves. But instead, what should have inspired them only fed their fire, and they tried to burn me to the ground. But all they burned was the bond we once shared. And now you have all lost the only human being who loved you unconditionally, the one who held you even when you were kicking and screaming against the very arms that protected you. Real strength, you see, is not found in muscle. Real strength is the courage to face your own flaws, to walk into the pit willingly and meet the parts of yourself you once ran from. It is there your true power is resurrected, not in ego, but in divine truth. That is when you finally witness strength of will, strength of mind, strength of emotional intelligence, and strength of spirit. To be an Arab woman, to love yourself more than their projected hate,